Hey y'all, welcome to another Chew Your Food IG video. As I did say on my story, I did a quick little poll to see if y'all wanted me to talk about some of the ingredients that's actually in my hair oil. So I'm gonna try to make this brief by just giving y'all a couple facts, a couple details, so you're more aware of what you're using, how it's working, and what it does. So for the most part, when I do make this oil, I use 4 different ones. They're all either cold pressed, organic, or unrefined. And I chose that specifically because one thing, when I went about creating it, I felt like there was too much stuff in the store that it would say essential, but it would have like 25 different ingredients on the back. Now that's cool, but I felt like some of that was kind of unnecessary. And plus, I want to know what's going on. Like, if anything that I'm using, if I'm gonna eat it or I'm gonna put it on my hair, put it on my skin, I need to know what's in it, what it's doing, why, and how. That's just me. So one of the oils that I did choose as one of the base oils is actually avocado. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that avocado contains vitamin B1, B2, vitamin D, vitamin K, and it actually contains a complex of vitamin E, which I really like because that kind of saved me a step of adding more vitamin E into it because it already is in the avocado oil. So that's a plus. And also, being that it contains oleic acid, that's pretty much a fancier way of saying a monosaturated fat. And one thing about avocado oil is that it's very high in monosaturated fats. Now, when it comes to using it as a hair oil, that's really dope because being that it contains so many monosaturated fats, it doesn't just sit on your hair or sit on your scalp. The density of it actually penetrates the hair shaft, and not only does it penetrate the epidermis, it goes into that second layer and it penetrates your dermis, which is helping to invigorate collagen stimulation, it's helping to retain moisture, and it's helping to stimulate growth. And that's exactly what we need. Like, a lot of things I noticed that with my hair, especially, I'm a 4C girl. So if you have 4C type of hair, you have coarse hair, it's really thick, it's really kinky, and it can become very, very extremely dry. So I knew when I was trying to create something to get my hair back on the right track after I really had a bad breakage incident, that I wanted it to have all of those components, and avocado oil is perfect for that. So that's one thing that's in here. Another thing, when I do make my oil, I believe I showed this on my story as well, I always use fresh rosemary. I go out and I pick this myself. Okay, so when I say handcrafted, I'm not just going in the store and buying things. Now, of course, the oils I have to, buy in a large quantity to mix it the way I want and get it to the texture and the consistency that I want. But as far as the herbs, I'm going to pick them myself. And I chose rosemary especially because I love the smell. I love to cook with it. I love how it smells. It's very aromatic. It's beautiful. Like, I love rosemary to death. I wish I knew how to grow that shit myself. But anyway, also with rosemary, it's another component that increases moisture, it increases length retention, it increases growth. Like, when you stay consistent, you will see that not only does it help your hair stay moisturized, it's light on your hair. Like, I know a lot of people, for the most part, a lot of people like to use castor oil, and I like castor oil too, but I feel like it's too thick sometimes. Sometimes I feel like it's too thick. It's like, I don't really like the density and the texture of it all the time, and it tends to clog your pores. Being that rosemary is more lighter, as well as avocado oil, you can use less of it, but it still does the trick. Now, as far as rosemary as well, I did want to mention that rosemary is what we call antimicrobial. And what that means is that it's antifungal, it has antioxidants, and it helps protect the skin against microbes. Microbes that will cause breakouts, microbes that cause psoriasis, microbes that cause eczema. All these things that are problems with the skin, and the skin and the scalp is the same thing. We just happen to have hair growing out of certain parts of our skin, if you just think about it. So being that it's a plus as well as doing a moisture and it's an antioxidant, that's perfect for people, especially men who get haircuts. We getting shape ups, we getting trims. And I noticed with some men, you get the little razor bumps. Ladies, Or we get our hair braided, it be a little too tight, even when we get it braided down for the wigs. And those little bumps that come, those are like almost little fungus coming on the skin because there's too much tension, it's too much going on. The rosemary actually goes in there, it helps kill those germs, it helps moisturize the scalp, it helps keep the skin moist, and it helps brings it back to life. So those are really like two of the main components. And I also if you look, obviously when you see the bottle, there's other herbs in there. There's mint leaves in there, there's an herb called avarampu in there, and there's actually some rose petals inside there. Now I don't infuse, well, it's technically I am infusing it because when you get the oil, they're already in there. So as these herbs sit in there, it's keeping the product strong. Like, not only am I already pre-infusing it with mint leaves and rosemary leaves, you already have the herbs that's in here working as it sits. Trust and believe. And that's actually another reason why the oil has like a greenish gold color. It's because of the avocado oil, it's because of the rosemary. So those are two things that I did want to just throw out in there. There's a couple of other special herbs in there that help regenerate hair growth, that help infuse collagen into the scalp and into the hair shaft as well. But those are just two things that I wanted to throw out there real quick. If you do have any other questions, y'all can feel free to DM me. Y'all have my number to text me. And also in one of my other videos, I don't have it in front of me, I am still working on the eyelash and the eyebrow serum. I might send one out soon as a little sample to a couple people, just so y'all can get a feel of it and tell me what y'all like. But other than that, chew your food. Stop playing. I don't believe in BS. I believe in results. I educate myself on these things so I can share them with y'all. And remember, when I first started making this oil, this was a minute ago. I wasn't making it to get paid. I was making it so I could get my shit together and get my hair back on the right track. And it's working, and it's working for other people. So now it's become a product. So DM me if you need some. I'm here for you. Sea moss is still on deck. And just to tie it back into the sea moss and everything like that, when I make these things, I'm making it so it can have multiple functions and multiple uses. So if you're suffering with dry scalp, chew your food. If you're suffering from hair loss, chew your food. If you're suffering with dryness of the scalp, tension in the scalp, chew your food. DM me. I'm stocked up. We're ready for you. We waiting for you. Chew your food, hair oil. Get it while the getting is good. You heard?